you were going to be left on the ash heap of history in American politics if that's really the approach you decide to move forward with. So let's talk now about Rudy Giuliani. He seemed to contradict himself yesterday when he sat down on the Sunday shows and said that President Trump and former FBI Director James Comey never talked about former National Security Advisor Mike Flynn. But Giuliani and other Trump officials have indicated always in the past that the president did discuss Flynn with Comey. This is what Giuliani said yesterday, followed by comments he made last month.
What happened in that conversation with Comey about Michael Flynn? What exactly did President Trump say?
There was no conversation about Michael Flynn.
So you're saying that President Trump and James Comey never discussed Michael Flynn?
That is what he will testify to if he's asked that question. They already know that. So why are they asking us for him to repeat what they already know under oath?
And you're also saying that a month ago you didn't tell ABC News that he said something along the lines of can you give him a break?
No, I did not. I said that is what Comey says. The reality is Comey, in some ways, ends up being a good witness for us.
How is he a good witness for the president if he's saying that the president was asking him, directing him, in his words, to let the Michael Flynn investigation go?
He didn't direct him to do that. What he said to him was, can you give him a break?
Comey says he...
So, John Heilman, what are we to make of that? Is Rudy Giuliani making up as he goes along? Is he purposely lying? Does he have early onset of dementia? How does he go from yes? He's saying he never asked that question to us, of course, having a tape where just clearly a couple of weeks ago he said that's precisely what the president said.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to rule out early onset, but the first option seems to me obviously the right one. I mean, Giuliani, as I said before, his credibility is basically zero on pretty much everything at this point because he's contradicted himself over and over and over again. But we are now veering into a new terrain in terms of the kind of deception that they're trying to perpetrate and that he's trying to perpetrate in this context. It is not just the case that this is not a question of Jim Comey's word versus Donald Trump's word, Jim Comey's word today versus Rudy Giuliani's version of Donald Trump's reality today. You have Jim Comey's contemporaneous notes from the time. You have contemporaneous notes of other people that Jim Comey reported the conversation to at the time. You have people, every account of this that's been given by everyone, including many people who are allies of the president, suggest that conversation did take place. There's lots of dispute around the details, around what did Trump intend, around what did he mean, around what did he know about the state of the Flynn investigation at that moment. Many of those things are in dispute. What has never been in dispute until this weekend was the notion that the question of Mike Flynn came up in the room with Jim Comey. And all that is now happening is Rudy Giuliani is pushing a sustained campaign of gaslighting the country and blatant fabrication with a political end to its logical and obviously what I mean by logical, I mean insane extreme to the point where he's getting tripped up on words of his own from just a fortnight ago.
Yeah, and I mean, again, John Meacham, we can go through Jim Comey's contemporaneous notes and his friend's contemporaneous notes, or you can just take Rudy Giuliani's word for it. Because Giuliani himself said the president was saying, give Flynn a break. This is, again, I mean, you could say this is the death of truth. I think this is just the renaissance of just stupid, out and out stupid
No false binaries here, Joe. Those can both be true.
No, just, I mean, seriously, it's a third grader. And I've had 4 third graders. A third grader would be able to keep his or her story more consistent than what Rudy Giuliani's doing out on the Sunday shows every morning.
If Barbara Tuchman were alive, we would now have the title for her book about the age of Trump, The Renaissance of Stupid. I love it. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, good.
One of the things